to FPX as they run in at him, because it's like, cool, you're coming to my territory. Because otherwise, well, now you got Yagao, who can play at this Twist of Fate off in the side lane. He can split push for days, come and make these picks, set up these massive Kennen engages if JDG want to go aggressive.
Well, you heard it here from the Irishman on my left. This is Zoom's town, and FPX are the ones invading right now. We'll see what they've got as they come into game number 2. And I like that we've got a little bit of aggression coming from both sides here, because this time around it's JDG with a really, really solid pick composition with this Ashe coming on through, as well as the Bard, as well as the Twisted Fate. They have a lot of ways to be proactive in the early game and make things happen beyond level 6.
So do FPX though, and oftentimes when we see this Rumble pick locked in, it's all about Doinb shoving in that wave, hitting level 3 and going straight towards that bottom side. And when you got Tian on this Volibear who can set up for these dives, Nautilus who's great in these dives as well, I wouldn't be surprised to see some early aggression towards this bottom lane.
I'm hoping for an absolute brawl in the early games. Time to jump in and find out. It's time to get into game number 2 of this series, and hopefully game 2 of 3, if we can be so lucky. But FPX struggled in game number 1. It was all about JDG controlling the pace of the game, reading FPX's win conditions, and outsmarting them in the later stages. This time around, as you rightly say, FPX with some proactive tools. The question is, can they be the ones dictating the pace? Can they find themselves early advantages?
So,
the Colonel reckons they can.
Yeah. Well, we have seen from FPX before. And if FPX are able to get rolling pre-level 6, they're going to be in a really good spot. And that's what I'm looking for from Doinb to try and shove in this wave and start moving around the map. Now, Yagao this time around has opted for the teleport. So at least on these early plays, can use the teleport to join in on these, well, side lane adventures. But the big thing is, as JDG start to move into this mid game, you can have Yagao played to a side lane, you can have Zoom with his teleport as well, played off in these side lanes, pushing against Khan, chipping away at these structures, and then look at the pick potential that JDG have. You've got Yagao who can come in with the gold card, you've got Tempered Fate from LvMao, which he is so dangerous with, and then you got LoKen with this Enchanted Crystal Arrow as well. The ability for JDG to find favorable engagements is really difficult for FPX to try and deal with if FPX don't have a lead.
Bit of a 2v2 down in the bottom side. LWX taking a few love taps here from LoKen. Just going to hammer home, and let's bear in mind, Ashe with the Frost Drop passive, so damn good at level 1 trades.
It makes it very hard to get away from, especially with the range discrepancy you've seen between LWX and Chris. But Khan, at least in this top side, doing a good job of punishing Zoom to a certain extent, because as we talked about, look, this is a fight where Khan can use that Nimbus Strike to jump onto Zoom quite a bit. But no, we're okay in the bottom lane. But what you have to bear in mind is the ability power.
Are we okay in the bottom lane? Because Kanavi's moving in for a gank here, slows onto LWX. He does flash out, but Chris, I don't think there's any way for him to get out of this play. Dredgeline comes through, but ultimately, it's a kill for Kanavi once more.
And this was not the start we wanted to see from FPX. We said LWX and Chris been struggling. Well, we get to see it once more against LoKen and LvMao, who essentially just set up themselves for a double kill, where Kanavi said, I'll come in and take that. He didn't even have to use the Ignite, which we do see Kanavi running here. He wants to be aggressive in the early stages, and we're seeing it so far.
Kanavi just going to help shove out in this mid lane as well, but look at where Tian is. He's just stolen away the red buff. Kanavi's about to find out, but he's too late to the play. Oh no, the red buff never went down. It was just hiding in the bush. Now Chris moves in. Ooh, that was close on the dredge line. Tian taking massive damage from Kanavi, who's just looking for the 1v1 here. Doesn't have the flash. He's gone Smite Ignite for this one. But the rest of the squad is here, so he doesn't need the flash. They're going to burn him down. Yagao grabs that kill, and already this is rolling out of control from FPX here. Flash forward from Yagao as they get onto Chris once more. Still had his flash from the play earlier, though. It's going to be 2 now for JDG.
Oh, God, FPX, what is going on? Kanavi is on a tear so far, killing the bot lane wanders on up to find Tian knocking on his door in the red buff. He manages to take the kill there too, and now Kanavi's going to have free roam in this game. He is so far ahead compared to Tian, and especially as we talked about, he wants to get aggressive. He wants to duel when you've got this Smite Ignite combo. Well, he can go into the jungle whenever the hell he wants and pick off Tian.
And he's not even had to use the Ignite yet.
Yeah.
He's not even used that summoner, the aggressive summoner. So he's still got plenty in the tank for this one. He's going to be able to clear this Grom, get back to base, get some items, and then get back into these lanes and do some damage. Or just go into Tian's jungle and look for a 1v1, because God knows the rest of his lanes are feeling good.
And hey, look, we talked about FPX. We wanted to see them making some early aggressive plays pre-level 6. They can't do that. Doinb has been caught in his lane so often that he hasn't been able to roam. Yagao has now managed to back. He's also been able to use a bunch of his minion dematerializers. So right now this Twisted Fate is 2 Qs and a red card away from clearing that wave. And Doinb's lost his opportunity to make these roams, as in just over a minute, Yagao will have access to that ultimate.
The really crazy thing is that we are at 5 minutes on the clock right now, and already it's almost a 1,500 gold lead in favor of JDG. That is just absurd. Let's bear in mind, there's still a Cull in the pocket of LoKen. He's going to be grabbing a ton of gold over the next few minutes. You've got Yagao that already grabbed himself Merc Treads, so he's going to be able to zip around the map, and that CC, the magic damage that's going to come out from Doinb and from Tian, it's just not going to stick.
So let's look at how FPX can make these plays to get back into, because it is a 1,000 gold lead. It's quite a lot for JDG at this portion of the game, but they still have really strong team fights, and especially if we look towards that top lane where Kanavi's been doing a relatively good job to deal with Zoom. If Tian can play towards this top side, try and set up Con, burn a teleport or a flash on towards Zoom, and then have FPX with Con in tow making plays towards this bottom side, they can make stuff work alongside Doinb. So FPX can still have opportunities. It's just that we need a lot of it to come off the back of Tian, who is struggling against Kanavi with how much pressure Kanavi has in this matchup right now.
There are not many junglers in the world that don't struggle against Kanavi, because the man is an absolute monster. But I do just want to revisit quickly before the next bout of action kicks off, because I'm sure Kanavi wants to make some moves here. I want to revisit what this game actually means, because this is more than just the standings, right? JDG, first off, they're fighting for first place right now. If they can win this series, this would be their 9th win, which means they would tie themselves up with top esports and IG in that first place position. But also, this has very much become the modern grudge match of the LPL, as we said right at the very start. This matchup between JDG and FPX has become very important for both of these teams, and most recently at MSC, it was FPX that came out on top. They repeated their championship performance at Worlds. They managed to get themselves another international tournament under their belts until Top Esports ruined that for them. But ultimately, JDG are on the back foot when it comes to this rivalry. But based on this series so far, it's not looking like that'll remain for long.
And this is where we look at JDG and say, look, this is our Spring Split champions. This is the team that, although we had our doubts, and even we saw LvMao talk about it in our little video before this game, they take time to ramp up. It was the same in Spring, where they were sitting in 4th place. No one expected much until LvMao struck.
LvMao gets a double bind here. Tian, he's already going to be locked up by Yagao. There's a good bit of damage back, but ultimately he can't get over the wall. Didn't have his flash available, so LoKen grabs that kill for himself on the Ashe. And once again, another great play from JDG, but ultimately it was FPX that were in the wrong position. It was FPX trying to start the play.
And that's why it's so difficult for FPX to make these plays, because Yagao has got the teleport, Yagao's got the destiny. He can join in at a moment's notice, and unfortunately Con wasn't able to try and shove in that top wave to maybe make some teleport plays. It just means that, again, FPX are falling further behind.
Let's just quickly mention as well that LoKen is now level 6, so there is potential for shenanigans in this bottom side of the map. If LWX steps a little bit too far out of position, that can be punished, but Doinb moving up towards the top side. He wants to get onto Zoom. Flash still available, but in goes Khan to get a knock-up slicing Maelstrom. Doinb going to be stunned underneath the tower, but he has a whole bunch of damage. Flashes for the kill. That's a nice pickup here for FPX.
And it's fantastic for FPX to get something back in the tank.
Kanavi wants to 1v1 the enemy mid laner. Collateral damage. The burn. Oh my days, he's done it. 2v1.
and manages to get a kill back over. This is how strong Graves is right now, but Tian wants to answer back, but the bear's not a threat, as Zoom is going to TP back in.
Now the bear is under threat. The teleport comes through from Zoom. Can they get the stun, though? I don't think it's happening.
Sorry, no, but they have forced Tian back. Khan as well doesn't have that ultimate available for something like this Rift Herald play, as Yagao is already starting to move.
Yeah, Yagao also has grabbed himself 2 turret plates in the mid lane already, while Doinb was trying to make things happen on the top side that didn't even end up going his way in the end. This is a huge swing in favor of JDG. Now they get a Herald off the back of everything else. They're already 2,500 gold up. This is rapidly getting out of control.
And look at bot lane. LoKen and LvMao didn't even have to move. They're able to get a turret plate for themselves as well, and it was all off of this play from Kanavi. If Kanavi hadn't got this kill, well, then it's all even Steven, and we can actually look at FPX trying to fight for this Rift Herald, because Zoom, as we talked about, had to be in, but Doinb...
Plenty more fighting to come as well, because Doinb forced out of his jungle there. But I love that on the Pro View replay there. You see Kanavi throws out the collateral damage and just walks away. Yeah. Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Kanavi's looking pretty damn slick right now. 2-0-2, that Rift Herald is back pocket as well. There's only 3 turret plates on this bottom lane, where if I'm Kanavi, I want to just get that bot lane turret cracked open, because then I can set Yagao down there, shove in these waves nice and deep, and then move over with the Destiny to make plays in mid, make plays around these objectives, and make it so difficult for FPX to try and respond.
And everything seems difficult for FPX to respond to right now, as 3,000 gold at 10 minutes into the game. LWX and Crisp going to finally get an opportunity to shove a wave underneath the tower here. They do have themselves a small CS lead, because LoKen just head back to base. But bear in mind, LoKen has got himself a stopwatch as well as a cutlass, so he's ready to fight.
And I imagine that we are going to see some plays down towards this bottom side. Yagao has just backed, so he wanted to get some mana, wanted to make sure that he'd be able to shove in these waves against Doinb. Kanavi as well, going to clear out his jungle and make sure he's keeping this massive level advantage he has over Tian. Level 9 to level 6, by the way.
3 levels at 11 minutes. Kanavi is 3 levels up on Tian. That is not okay, Dagda.
It's really not. And Kanavi's just going to keep running away with this. It has been non-stop aggression from Kanavi. I mean, it all started to fall apart when Tian tried to go for that early invade towards red, but FPX, they are not going to stop making plays.
Zoom is definitely not their best friend right now as they're trying to make these plays. Khan gives him a thumbs up as he goes down under the tower, but Yagao trying to answer for this one. Damage onto Tian, but can't really finish that one off. Arrow's just a tiny little bit late from LoKen.
It was a solid effort, but not quite able to amount to very much. But look, FPX, they're going to gift over the Drake for this, so it is about trying to get some gold into Khan. But unfortunately, JDG are answering everywhere. Yeah,
this gold-wise has not gone the way of FPX, unfortunately, for looking greediest.
And this is Kanavi. Well,
oh, hang on. LvMao's just used his magical journey, and suddenly he's found himself. Oh no. Crisp hit the wall with his anchor. Tempered Fate keeps LvMao alive, flashes over the wall. It's going to be followed by LWX though, and LoKen has to get himself out of dodge here. Luckily, he's got Yagao there to keep him safe with the teleport.
So again, nice pick from FPX. They are trying to battle back against JDG, but this dragon will still go the way over towards Kanavi, I would imagine. Tian has a 3-level disadvantage here for trying to steal it, and he manages
he's going to go for it anyway. Kanavi now going to be stunned up as Tian goes in for this one. Killer Instinct on cooldown though. They are just going to grab themselves a dragon. You know what? If you're FPX, you take that.
I mean, that's a massive W in their books. You are 3 levels down and managed to outsmite Kanavi. I'd be damn happy with that. And as well, look, you just made a play top. You made a play on bot. You haven't been punished for it. Like, you did lose your mid lane turret, but the mid lane turret isn't actually as big of a factor for JDG. JDG want to get down these side lane structures to enable Yagao far more. So the fact that the mid lane turret was the one that went down to that Rift Herald is actually, in a weird way, better for FPX than if that bottom lane turret had gone down.
I mean, still sucks a little bit.
It still sucks,
but
I will say.
But
it still sucks.
It's not as bad as it could be. And yeah, you know what?
Silver lining.
When your 5,000 go down at 13 minutes, you take every single one of those wins that you can. That's an absolute massive dub that we're going to be battling with here, boss man. But
I would say maybe the littlest of dubs, but it's a dub nonetheless.
A dub is a dub is a dub is a dub.
It's like you've accidentally set the font way too low on your word. And it's not looking too good. You can barely read it, but at least it's something.
Hey, look. we take those, I think is the scientific phrase for this situation. Kanavi, once again, going to be moving into FPX's jungle. As well, I mean, it's basically his jungle at this point in the game. And just, like, let me just contextualize the ridiculous lead that Kanavi has. He's 2-0-2, great. He's also 50 CS up, great. He's also 2 levels up. Like, he has himself a Ghost Blade, whereas Tian has only just finished his full jungle item.
I was going to say he's also got a bunch of turret plates, and he's also the same CS as Zoom and LoKen. That is how farmed this Graves is. So when we get towards team fights, just watch to see how much damage Kanavi is churning out.
It's Zoom versus carry. It's going to be really excited at the bottom side. It's just Kanavi. Kanavi is just taking FPX on by himself. LoKen is going to be taken on by himself as well, as he's dived by absolutely everyone. Tempered Fate, though. And it means LoKen gets away with this one. Yagao has to flash out for his own life, but Kanavi is finally here, and that's where the damage really is. Wildcards across the team. Zoom gets the stun, only onto Doinb, though. As the rest of FPX trying to escape. LvMao, can he get the binding onto anyone? Not going to quite find the stun here. But JDG, they can just keep going in the bot lane right now.
Yeah, they are going to get this tower. Khan will answer on this top side of the map, but JDG, they turn around the play, they get what they come for, and now they get a nice back timing as well to go towards this next Rift Tower that's about to spawn. And more gold into their pockets means more damage for a fight that FPX probably don't want to take at this stage.
Khan will be able to answer at least with a tower in that top side, but it's still going to be 2 towers to 1 in total. It's still going to be even more gold in the pockets of JDG as they find these picks. And more importantly, so much used here from FPX to try and shut down LoKen, to try and get onto this AD carry, and they still can't actually make it happen.
It's heartbreaking to watch as, like, for any FPX fan, because when you look at this, it's FPX trying to make the plays that are getting shut down consistently by JDG, and even the plays that do manage to stick aren't quite able to get FPX over the hump that they're in. Now though, Tian and the rest of FPX do show up in this top lane, so they can at least thwart the play towards this Rift Tower for a minute.
So LWX is nowhere near right now, but I don't know if JDG have that information. Ward going to be cleared by Zoom on the top side. He doesn't have his ult available though. And without Kennen ult, I think JDG basically deciding, we don't really want a 5v5 right now. They weren't sure what FPX had up their sleeve, so they're going to allow this Herald over. So FPX with a very nice pickup here, and good for them to read the situation and understand without Zoom's ult, JDG can't fight.
Yeah, without Zoom's ult, and also when you're looking at Khan, who's just completed that Triforce, he's going to be looking pretty scary. You look towards the build on LWX, which is the newer Kai'Sa build that we're starting to see come through, where you forego the Manamune, you go in towards this Essence Reaver, and then you move in towards a Zeal item, and then over towards finally something like a Duskblade or a Youmuu's Ghostblade that Serrated Dirk is for. It just gives you a little bit more trading power in these early laning phases, but we'll have to see how FPX are going to contend with Kanavi.
Crisp, he's got himself a stopwatch to keep himself safe for now, but that's a gold card and a kill for Yagao. Now teleport comes through from Khan as they look to capitalize. Great equalizer. Khan, though, is denied by LvMao, and the disengage is just beautiful.
So well done by JDG.
Kanavi's just farming in the meantime, by the way.
Well, he might get caught out here. Khan has Cyclone available.
Are they catching him out, or is he catching them out? It turns out they're could get to kill and finish anyone off. Can't him. Zoom.
He's alive!
Oh my goodness, he somehow survived this one. Zoom doesn't even have to ult for this kill. He can just auto Khan down in the end. LoKen grabs the killing blow. In the meantime, Kanavi continues to just farm.
He manages to farm himself a dragon, and JDG, I mean, you've already gotten so much in this game, and they are just taking so much more. And you can even, we're talking about some of the newer builds or stranger builds that are coming through on FPX's side. Look at Kanavi's build. He's gone for this lethality. This is why he's so strong right now. Not going for the Black Cleaver second, going for the Youmuu's Ghostblade. He's fast. He churns out damage like there's nothing else, and he's able to turn around this play by FPX.
And I thought this was doomed for Yagao, but the stun onto LWX. Zoom coming in from the side. Somehow that doesn't quite kill him.
Auto.
LvMao got a heal off at the last second as well there. And then obviously the rest was just easy pickings for JDG, but my goodness, we're getting to a very similar point in the game to where we got in game number 1 here, Dacta, where JDG, we're getting towards the 20-minute mark, and they once again have a tremendous lead, and they are not looking to slow down. Doinb dodges the Tempered Fate, but it doesn't matter all too much. He's caught himself in an alcove, lays out the red carpet, and does a good bit of damage. Nice flash out of him as well. Doinb gets away with his life for now, at least. Tian forced away. Collateral damage can't quite finish the kill, and now Crisp coming in. Gold card, but he pulls in Kanavi. This would be a huge shutdown if they can get it. It's Doinb to finish that kill off, but he's traded with his own life here. Crisp will fall as well, as LoKen trying to clear it up. 2 for 2, and you know what? FPX are happy with that. Cyclone onto LoKen as they try to close the gap. The Acathian Rain finishes the kill, and Zoom is way too late to the party. Khan trying to finish that one off as they back away, but FPX get themselves a fight.
Finally, FPX are able to turn around a play, and JDG going too deep. No Zoom, no LoKen as that fight kicks off, and FPX are able to turn it around. Amazing from Doinb and also Tian to buy enough time for the rest of FPX to collapse.
When I saw Doinb in the alcove, I'd already given up hope that he could survive that one, but he played it so beautifully.
And look how much damage he gets out of this equalizer, because JDG are all set up straight across it, so when he flashes into this bush, it's completely away from JDG. Yagao has so little left here when it comes to mana, he can't really get much done in these fights. And the big damage dealers are Kanavi and LoKen. Kanavi gets burst out straight away with a great hook from Crisp to catch him out in the bush. And then LoKen, yes, gets one back, but gets caught out straight away by Khan. So again, nothing left in the tank.
And importantly, LWX got a whole bunch of gold there. He got all 3 of the kills. LWX now getting onto Yagao as another fight is just exploding on our screens. The Kaiser barely got away, but Doinb won't be so lucky. Kanavi ain't done just yet. Collateral damage is on cooldown. He won't quite find himself any more kills, but hey, Baron's open. And once again, we're looking at 22 minutes and the Baron for JDG.
And the picks on JDG just don't stop coming. They are once burnt, but never shy on this squad. Managed to get the play on towards Doinb. Now they go over towards the Baron. FPX are looking to collapse, but LvMao is playing Gatekeeper.
Cyclone is available for Khan here. This could be a play to just find the kills rather than the Baron from FPX. Tian wants to get into the pit here. 2000 and JDG, they're just going to burst this one down. In fact, no, they're going to turn on towards Khan. Cyclone comes out, but he's the first one to go down. Zoom! What is that? Immediately just blows FPX apart.
And that's 3 members now from FPX down in the blink of an eye. JDG will back. They picked up the gold. They picked up the Baron. And they are looking to once again sweep through FPX.
One and done here from JDG. Now 11,000 gold ahead, and it's only getting worse.
Oh, Crisp, that is so sad. But this is what we were discussing in the opening desk, where FPX are their own worst enemies. They tried to make this play, they tried to make the pick under the tower, but it just gets themselves caught out. JDG collapsed, and now look at how this game is, well, it was already blown up. It's even worse now. You're 11,000 gold up as JDG at 22 minutes. That is insane.
Yeah, this is one of those kind of leads. Perfect timing there from the Colonel. 87.6% in favor of JDG. And I can't say I blame the Colonel on this one. He knows his chicken, and apparently he knows his gold leads here. Now the siege begins, and there's not a whole lot that FPX can do about it. Although Khan wants to prove me wrong, trying to find a way in from the side.
JDG do a good job of stepping back, though. All they want to do is spread out when it comes to these different lanes. They want to make sure that they can actually take it nice and slow. They're the ones that want to use multiple different waves. Hang on.
I'm going to hit Doinb. Not the greatest target because he's a million miles away, but all it needs to do is open up this tower. Stun onto Crisp as well. In goes with the Cyclone, the Equalizer, all of the ults layered on top of each other. Kanavi goes down as well, and Zoom now has to try and get out of dodge. Yagao doesn't have the damage to win a team fight by himself, and JDG siege is thwarted by FPX.
I was in the middle of saying JDG want to take it slow. They want to go to side lanes. They don't want to group for FPX, because that's where FPX are strongest. We just got it shown, and FPX turn it around. They can go towards this second dragon now and at least push back this Baron buff play from JDG.
And with fights like this, you can see that this series is personal. Such a beautiful execution out of FPX as well. When these ultimates are layered on top of each other, you can keep everyone inside the Equalizer for long enough, FPX can always come out on top.
And it was just everyone get in here. Khan goes in, Doinb with the equalizer, and Tian is just like, I'm coming in, boys. Jumps in on top of the entirety JDG. But look how they group up just perfectly here for them. And then a beautiful equalizer. You don't even get a chance to see LoKen go down. Kanavi, obviously having no flash because he's still running that ignite, means that if you can close the gap onto him, he's super potent to be able to take him down nice and quick. And FPX make the play happen.
So, let's just reel ourselves in for a second here and take stock of where we're at in the game. Because FPX finding themselves a fight here and stopping the Baron play is absolutely massive. It means they keep their inhibitor, but they are still 10,000 gold down, Dagda. And the items very, very heavily in JDG's favor, especially in that mid lane where Yagao has himself a Medjai's and he's got himself 10 stacks as well. This is going to be an extra tower taken here by JDG. They don't need a Baron for that one. They know that they're just stronger. The question for me is, what's next for JDG? How do they continue to push this advantage without the same thing happening?
It's spreading out the lanes. You've got Yagao, who's got the Destiny available. Have him play off towards a side lane. Then you can start to have Zoom as well play off towards the bottom side of the map, and you don't give FPX the opportunity to shove out waves and try and make these plays.
Kanavi could be in trouble here. Look at the damage out of this Graves. I thought Graves would run out of his cigar, but he's smoking FPX right now. Zoom goes golden to keep himself safe as the rest of the team was kept busy. Beautiful stun from LvMao. That's an extra kill going their way as well. Zoom, he don't care about killing Crisp because he's running down the mid lane.
LvMao's going to keep Doinb at bay as well, stop him from backing, and as long as Doinb can't get into the base, JDG can look to end.
They are going to close this one out. What a ridiculous performance out of JDG. Although they have run out of minions, it doesn't seem to be stopping them. Taking the first Nexus tower down here. LvMao arrives on the Bard, and actually it is going to be enough to stop him. JDG back away.
Yeah, running out of minions there is not what JDG really wants to happen. They will get one Nexus turret, which means that at least FPX, if they start to lose some of these side lane inhibitors, they'll have to be much more cautious about keeping their base in check. But with the mid lane one, the only one down, it's a bit easier to defend. But JDG do not look like they're ready to let FPX come back into this game.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like there's much wiggle room here for FPX because, I mean, that was Kanavi getting caught out. And he just spins around and blows up whoever's closest. The amount of burst damage he has with the lethality, with the warriors, with the black cleaver on top of everything else. Here's one scary Graves. And that's not even to mention the fact that Zoom just kept the entire rest of FPX busy the whole time.
And now JDG are starting to go back towards, okay, let's actually play this towards the strengths of our composition. Yagao in a side lane. We have Zoom have his teleport. He can either push in a bottom lane or we can just have a 1-4 situation. But honestly, I wouldn't actually be surprised to see JDG opt into like a 0-3-2 where they can have both Yagao and Zoom join up together because you've got the teleport, you've got the Destiny, and you can look to really put pressure on towards Khan underneath these towers.
We'll see where they go with this strategy here. Looks like they're just going to be grouping up at least for now because Baron is about to rear its ugly head onto the map once more, but it's Yagao that's caught out by Crisp here. Does have his flash available still, has his Zhonya's and a Tempered Fate on top of everything. Flashes out to the rest of his team as Khan tries to go in. Equalizer, not ideal. It's only Zoom that's anywhere close. That's a lot used just now by FPX.
But look at the minions in the base. All JDG are doing is buying time for the super creeps.
And they get themselves a blue buff.
Oh my god!
On top of everything else. But now they can just go straight back on towards this Baron here. The super minions, as you say, in the base. They even get the Nexus Tower and the Baron on top of it. Everything coming up JDG.
And look, they've even got time now if they want to back, then get out onto the map for this Cloud Dragon. It really does feel like FPX are just, they don't know how to try and play against JDG.
One of the crazy things as well is, like, Rumble should be the perfect pick in that kind of fight, but because LvMao is on Bard, he lays down the equalizer. It's like, all right, Magical Journey, we're out of here. Yeah. See you later.
And it's why it's such a beautiful pick from LvMao, his ability to play this part. But even look at the way he used the Tempered Fate in that fight as well was, okay, Yagao has gone golden with the Zhonyas. I can ult in on top of the Twisted Fate again to stop Khan having the engage, buy time for Yagao to reset, and then you've already used so much as FPX that you just don't have anything left in the tank to try and fight against us.
Nothing left in the tank is exactly how I would describe what's happening right here, Dagda.
What if, just entertain me a little bit, FPX leave their base for a moment, you've got Yagao use the Destiny in, ward down, and Zoom just comes in to join in.
I'm on board.
Well, I mean, JDG might just end.
Or just run it down the mid lane. That's also an option because Kanavi just blew Tian apart. In comes Khan with the equalizer as well, but Zoom has way more ult damage than you do. This is going to be the end of FPX in this series. Double comes through for LoKen, and that is going to be that. A clean 2-0 from JDG. And it ain't much of a grudge anymore, I fear.
It really